Taoiseach, you mentioned a number of mechanisms for a review of the programme for government, and indeed it would be helpful if your answer was circulated at the time so we could get the detail of that to ask you more precise questions. But can I ask you, Taoiseach, in regard to the implementation of the programme for government, what benchmarks have you set with regard to critical areas of that programme regarding the massive crisis of 440,000 of our people wasting in unemployment? For example, within 6 months of your government taking office, have you a benchmark as to how much reduced that unemployment rate should be? Within 6 months, within 12 months? I believe it is critical that we have answers like that, because I think your programme in regard to jobs creation is extremely vague. Can I ask you, Taoiseach, with regard to other issues, what confidence can we have of the government living up to its claims in the programme for government to having a modern, fair, socially inclusive and equal society by the end of your term, if your Minister for Finance, within a week of the formation of government, has jettisoned a critical aspect of the programme called burden sharing, requiring the losing gambling bondholders to not get their money back from the Irish people? Since that has already been jettisoned, what confidence can we have in other aspects of your programme? And lastly, Ceann Comhairle, the critical issue of the debt foisted on the Irish people as a result of the reckless speculation by bankers raises the question, according to your Minister for Finance, of the sustainability of this country meeting the debt requirements. What benchmark have you in regard to that as a government? For example, what payment of interest would you consider beyond which the state cannot go? What's the total amount, etc.? I think you have to be very precise in these issues.
Thank you, Deputy.
Sure.
It's very difficult to be precise about the numbers who will be actually working in 6 months' time, or in 18 months' time, or in 2 years' time. You can't be precise, nor can I. But what I can say is this, that the entire focus of this government is to rectify the situation so far as public finances are concerned, to restore those finances to a state of good health, and where we can provide a stimulus and initiatives so that people, young people in particular, can have opportunities and career opportunities to pursue in this country if that is their wish. Now, you asked me about benchmarks. I've already made it publicly known that I've asked each minister, in respect of their responsibility under the programme for government, to produce their itemised list and projects and proposals that they expect to have implemented inside the first 100 days. We've made it perfectly clear in that respect that we intend to introduce a jobs budget. And we set out the conditions of that, where confidence can be restored and where initiatives can be taken to create opportunities for employment, for training, so that people can have a return to confidence. I would say to you, in respect of social inclusiveness, one of the great tragedies of the last decade was the chasm that opened between government and the people, and that for hundreds of thousands of people around the country, the arm of democracy never reached to them, and they felt isolated and alone and bereft and left behind in respect of the actions of government. And that's a bridge that needs to be rebuilt, and that reconnection made in a very strong way, that good government, listening to people and working with them in a spirit of cooperation, can actually rebuild that, where our reputation both at home and abroad can be restored. You are wrong, Deputy, to say that the Minister for Finance jettisoned burden sharing. This is a matter that will be discussed later today in the Dáil. I'm sure you'll have your opportunity to make your points there. There are serious issues to be discussed at the Council meeting on Thursday, Friday, including the unfolding situation in Libya and further support from the European Union for the stricken people in the area of Japan affected by the tsunami, earthquake and nuclear reactor position. The question in respect of the economic situation is one that will be focused on by the heads of government on Thursday, Friday. And while I can't actually say what the outcome will be, because I myself would like to be clear as to what the extent of exposure to indebtedness actually is in the banks, and as you know, the stress tests are currently being completed.